Hello everyone and welcome to my review of set 75413, the Republic Juggernaut. I know this review is coming out a while after this set was released, but I did just now get it, and that is because I didn't think this was worthy enough of a day one buy. This set is $160. It did come out on August 1st, along with sets like the 327th Battle Pack, MTT, and V19, all of which I do have reviews out on the channel though, so this is like the last one of the big August sets. So just taking a look at the box here, we do have a nice picture of the turbo tank charging into battle, and one thing that I do think is funny about this box art is that on the box you can see every single minifigure that's in the set on the outside, so technically no one's driving the tank. But if you do look in areas like over here and some other areas, I do believe this is supposed to be like away from the bridge on my Guido, but I do think that this area over here is supposed to represent that. And then taking a look at our minifigure lineup here, we do have the very nice lineup, and then flipping the box around, we do have the area that shows us all of the functions of the build. Another area of what I do believe is the Guido bridge up here, and then again some minifigures inside of the set this time. So definitely some nice box art, but I feel like it's not really misleading, but it's also not really giving the set enough credit. I feel like they could have done better here, but I'm going to go ahead and build this set, and I will see you here in a few moments. So taking a look at our minifigures here, first off we have the standard B1 Battle Droid. This is the same one that's been in all of the other sets, and we do get 3 of these in this set, which is a nice inclusion. Although I personally think, and I know a lot of other people think, that there should have been less droids and more of the Galactic Marines, but it is always nice to have these to add to your collection. Next up here we have Ki-Adi-Mundi, which is updated from the last one we got in the Battle Pack. There's no major difference here, except I do think the expression on his face is different, but there is also some nicer hood printing here on the back. But overall, this is a very nice minifigure. There's not that many changes. They still have the same like head mold to get like the cone shape, and then some nice printing all around, so this will definitely be added to the collection of some nice Jedi that we have gotten this year. And then next up here we do have Commander Bacaro. He does have the printed waist cape, which is kind of bad. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on this minifigure, but the one thing is that this minifigure does have a new and unique helmet mold for his like his helmet is unique in Star Wars. It does have the antenna, but the thing is you can't really tell here that much. I mean, you kind of can, but his cheeks are rather chubby, which I don't think it should be. I feel like they could have easily fixed that. He does also have the normal clone head underneath, so nothing special there. And then he does have some nice wear and tear on the armor, so overall it is a nice clone trooper, but I feel like if LEGO revisited this character, they could definitely do better. And then last up here we do have the long-awaited Galactic Marine. This is personally one of my favorite minifigures LEGO has made all year. I definitely think they did well with this one. The only thing they could really do better with these guys is give them real waistcapes instead of the printed ones. And then also some printing on the backpacks would be nice. That is kind of a shame that they didn't include that. But overall I do think this is good. It does have the standard clone head underneath. And then we do have this nice new helmet mold for the Galactic Marines. So it doesn't quite look exactly like the Snow Trooper, but it definitely is good for what we are asking for. And now on to the star of the show here, we do have the Turbo Tank. This is the 2025 version of a Turbo Tank, or as LEGO calls it, the Republic Juggernaut. So it's definitely not the biggest one. They've definitely had larger models, and then there's also a lot of like talk about the sand blue up here and on the wheels, and then the blue tinted in the windows. And if you look on my channel, I made a post a while ago explaining how this back portion, at least with the gun emplacement and then the cannons down here, is very accurate to what we see in the Clone Wars. So I think this is more based off of a Clone Wars turbo tank than the ones we see on Kashyyyk. Now obviously this does roll, but like as you can see, this one isn't as much, so if you push the wheels in super far it doesn't quite work. And then we do have the like suspension system area here, and then opening up the build, we do have the nice interior. And then there is some stability issues people have been talking about, where if you like just grab here it'll fall apart, but I do not feel like testing that. This does move up and down, except it is kind of a pain, and if you pull too hard it'll just pop right out. So then you have to go through the effort of figuring out where it was and then popping it back in. That falls off, as you can see. This does rotate though, and then this pops off for some more entry to the cabin. And then this area opens up and then folds out, and you can put a Galactic Marine in there. And then also the front, this thing with the front is this kind of has to be up for you to lift up on, or open these and then lift up on that. And then a Galactic Marine can sit down in here and pilot the thing. So overall it is a nice build. It does have some nice play functions, but I feel like LEGO has definitely made some better turbo tanks in the past than this one, and I feel like if they revisited a turbo tank at some time soon, they could definitely do better. So 2 quick comparisons between the turbo tank and some other sets. First off, we have the MTT, which costs the exact same, although it is more pieces. However, when you do take a look at these side by side, it is kind of hard to tell. However, the turbo tank right here is larger. I mean, it's like a little bit longer. It's not as tall, unless you pull this all the way up, then it does beat it in height. But the MTT does have the nice droid rack function here, which does open up, and yes, I did mod it to include 8 droids, and so the turbo tank does not have really that cool of a play feature like that. But also this MTT does use all the space. There's the storage back here, the droid rack, and then the pilot. And then with here there's like big dead space here, and then the minifigures are kind of crammed on the inside. But overall I do feel like size-wise these are pretty even, but value-wise I do feel like the MTT is cooler, has the better function with the droid rack, plus you're getting more minifigures in the MTT than you are with the turbo tank. And then the other thing I wanted to compare it to here was the ATTE, and technically in universe the Juggernaut is supposed to be like 3 times that thing's size, and as you can see it is nowhere close to that. This ATTE is definitely much larger and nicer. This is also a lot more like stable, when this one has the stability issues up here, and this antenna piece keeps falling off every time I talk about it. So I'm just going to leave that for now. But as you can literally see by that, there's definitely a lot of issues with this turbo tank, but there will be a more in-depth comparison between these 2 sets coming soon on my channel, but I just wanted to give you a quick size comparison to these 2 sets. Well folks, that is it for my review of the Republic Juggernaut. I personally think that you should wait for this to go on sale. I don't think it is as worth the $160 as the MTT is. I do still think it is a nice set, and it is nice that we finally do get these Galactic Marines in LEGO form. And then obviously Commander Bakara is nice. I mean, they definitely could have done better with him. And then an updated Jedi minifigure is always nice to get. And then overall, I do like the way the turbo tank looks here, but I definitely think they could have done better, especially with the stability issues here. And then like the interior has a lot more space for minifigures than the minifigures you're getting. I personally think that there should be more Galactic Marines. So overall, I would wait a bit for this set to go on sale. I wouldn't wait for it to retire and then get it afterwards, because it's definitely going to be expensive on the aftermarket, especially because of these guys. But, like I said, that is it for my review of the Republic Juggernaut. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have the other reviews for some August 2025 sets out on my channel. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I am going for 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Again, I am sorry that this review came out a little late. I just now got the set, and I explained that earlier. But that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and then make sure you tune in for the next one.